Charles Dickens, A Christmas Carol. Hi, I'm Gary Lovisi, and we're going to take a look at various paperback and hardcover editions of Dickens' classic Christmas book, A Christmas Carol, in paperback and in hardcover, with some illustrations and various images of how this classic for Christmas was documented in various books. So we're going to take a look, first of all, with readings from Dickens with 4 color plates. A lot of these books are really beautifully illustrated. This is from Castle and Company from 1908. There's a picture of Charles Dickens. And the readings from Dickens, it's 3 parts, and the first part is A Christmas Carol. It tells a little bit about the story. Let's see if I can find the plates, because the plates are really beautiful. Marley in his pigtail, usual waistcoats, tights and boots. That's when Marley visited Scrooge. Tiny Tim upon his father's shoulders. And this is from 1908 again. A digest-sized paperback. The doctor was sitting in his portentous study. And I think this is the last one in the book. Dr. Marigold's last prescription to be taken for life. These last 2 were for stories not from A Christmas Carol, but they're just nice illustrations, so I just want to show them. That's from 1908 from Castle and Company. This is a little interesting little book, Christmas Carol. It's from the Sandusky Furniture Company. There's nothing on it that indicates the date, but I would say it's probably in the 1910s or 20s, around that period. Very interesting little book, cute book. A Christmas Carol in prose, a ghost story by Dickens, of Christmas by Charles Dickens. This is a Pan hardcover, British Pan books. This is a facsimile dust jacket. There's the Pan logo. There's a facsimile dust jacket. It also contains the color lithographs by John Lech. So you can see here's the actual book, and the illustrations. This is from 1945, and this reprint is from 1946. Pan Books did a few early on hardcovers, British Pan Books, a few early on hardcovers. And they were really nice, and they're pretty scarce in dust jacket. Christmas present. If you're a fan, a lover of Christmas Carol, there's Scrooge and Marley's Ghost, like I am, and my wife is, and you'll appreciate this video, and you'll enjoy it. It's just a look at just the different images and the different books that are available. A Christmas Carol is a U.S. pocketbook, number 29, and this is the second printing from 1940. Christmas Carol, A.B. Bestseller Classics. This was award books, and I don't know if there's a date on it, but it's from the 1960s. Very kind of sparse edition. Not a lot to it, no illustrations. A nicer one is the Airmont Classic Series. It's number CL26. Nice black and white line drawing of Dickens. A little bit of information about him. And this one is from 1963. Back cover tells you a little bit about the books. Airmont did all classics. Illustrated classics. These were written for younger readers, and this one was actually advertised for McDonald's. It was adapted by Malvina Vogel, illustrations by Brendan Lynch. It's from 1979, and it has quite a few illustrations. Scrooge and Marley's offices. Nice illustrations. This is for younger readers. There's the various ghosts taking Scrooge on his journey. His Scrooge's youth. It's a young man, his sister. It's almost like a Big Little book. They have basically an illustration on each every other page, text on one side and illustration on the other. Really nice. Nicely done illustrations. I could look at this all day long. The ghost of Christmas future, taking Scrooge to the graveyard, and then Scrooge becoming a better man, and dancing and being happy. Nice book, nice book. Christmas Carol by Magnum Books, which was this is number 13458, which is a later incarnation of Lancer Books. Magnum did various classics also. This one is an Easy Eye book. It had they did these with a lighter yellow tinted paper, which was supposed to be easy on the eyes. So it's a Magnum Easy Eye book. And this is from 1970, copyright by Lancer Books. Probably Lancer did the 70 edition, and then this one was reprinted in 475. You can see the date back here. Gold Medal Books and Lancer and Airmont and certain other publishers would put a reprint date, month and year at the end, kind of a little secret code there that some people don't know about. So that's some of the Dickens Christmas Carol books, and we're going to take a look at a few more now. Watermill Classic, Christmas Carol. This is from 1980, American edition. Doesn't appear to be any illustrations. Nice cover art. This one's really nice. This is Tor Books, American again. God Bless Us Everyone. Marley's Ghost on the cover with Scrooge. This is a Tor book from 1990. Usually they say who does the cover art, but this one doesn't. This is the 11th printing of this edition. There's a lot of the books have Life of Charles Dickens. This is by Jane Yolen, the fantasy author, and again, no illustrations, but really nice cover. Christmas Carol, the most beloved Christmas tale of all times. This is a Washington Square Press enriched classic, they call it. Washington Square Press is an American publisher that publishes literary and classic books. And you can see the Scrooge is George C. Scott. Right. Because I just heard a voice somewhere say George C. Scott. It's amazing. And this one's from, well, it was originally 1963, but this is the 36th printing, so it's probably at least from the 1960s, late 60s or 70s. No illustrations again. Christmas Carol by Scholastic Books. Can't get this label off. Cover art's nice. Scholastic cover illustration by Robert Sauber. Inside illustrations by Charles Beck. This is from probably somewhere in the 70s. It says originally copyright 62, but this is the 18th printing. The illustrations, Marley's Ghost, Visiting Scrooge. The First of the Three Spirits. The Second of the Three Spirits. The illustrations vary in quality and quantity in these books. Some of them have a few, some of them have a lot, some of them have them really well done. That's The Last of the Spirits. Some of them don't have, they're not really that, this one, it's okay, but nothing to brag about. This one is another Scholastic edition. Again, illustrations inside by Charles Beck. It's an Apple paperback. And there's no date on this. It's probably the 80s or 90s. Basically, it's the same book as the earlier one. Same edition, same illustrations. Same as this, just with a new cover. It's a little bit of a better cover. This is a kind of a older looking cover. This is a little more modern. Now we're going to get to some other books, some interesting books. Hardcover books. This is a Southfield hardcover, Christmas Carol by Dickens. In Every Child's Library from 1927. And God bless us everyone. 50 illustrations by Helen Nice. Cover design by Francis Brundage. And again, this is from 1927. They list some of the full-page illustrations. So they have small spot illustrations like this, and then full-page ones, which are nice. The printing is clear and large, so it's really a nice kind of a book. There's the face of the ghost on Marley's face on the door knocker. The ghosts in the city. I don't believe there's any color illustrations in here, but there's quite a lot of nice black and white ones. And again, this is a hardcover from 1927. Some of these books don't stand up too well over the years, but some of them remarkably do, because they're treasured by the children and adults. Here's the the artist's signature, NYCE. At the bottom, there's full-page illustration. So that's a nice one. A more recent one, Barnes & Noble's books, put out A Christmas Carol, hardcover. And this is from actually it doesn't list, 1994. Okay. unfortunately, there don't seem to be any illustrations in this one. Barnes & Noble did this on the quick and the cheap, sadly to say. But still a nice book all the same. Christmas Carol by, it's a small edition. And this is originally published by Philadelphia, the Henry Altemus Company. It's illustrated. Nice Marley's Ghost there. No copyright or printing date on it. It's a nice little book. Has a lot of information in the back about different series. Just by judging this, there doesn't seem to be any illustration. Oh, yes, there's one. The Spirit Among the Graves. Very effective, very nicely done. I would say that this is early 1900s. This family about the fire. Vision in the rag shop with where they're selling Scrooge's last remains of his material goods after he's passed away. And again, the Ghost of Christmas Present, the Jolly Giant. Very nice copy, Tiny Tim on the cover, of course. Nice little hardcover. Put that one down here. Christmas Carol, American Notes, Volume 3, Charles Dickens. This was a series. There is a embossed figure of Dickens' head with Charles Dickens. I don't know if you can see that on the cover, which is quite nice. This is the works of Charles Dickens, Books Incorporated, New York and Boston. It contains A Christmas Carol with illustrations and other books and stories. There's no date on this, but I would put it probably in the early 19th century, 19 teens or 20s. There's the Chimes, that's a different Dickens story. And Christmas Carol, there's Scrooge Among the Graves. The Ghost with the two children. Not too many illustrations on this one. Little Golden Book, Walt Disney Productions, Mickey's Christmas Carol, Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, and the gang. Nice little book for children, Little Golden Book. Still, it's a Christmas Carol. It's Western Publishing Company, 1983 originally. This probably is a reprint, and it's just nice Mickey Mouse and artwork. Scrooge McDuck or Donald Duck is Scrooge, and Mickey is Bob Cratchit. It's just a cute book. Slim little hardcover. Maybe 20 pages or so. Different ghosts. It's just cute. And everything. And God bless us everyone, shouted Tiny Tim. Okay, so Mickey's Tiny Tim then. Cute little book. Another nice book is the Winston hardcover of Christmas Carol. Really nice cover illustration there, and back cover illustration. Beautiful book. A little big, a little heavy. And this one, if I can get to the pages. Okay, so it's the John C. Winston Company, it's Philadelphia. Introduction by Lionel Barrymore, illustrations by Everett Shin. This is one of the illustrations. This is 1938. This is 1938 by Winston Publishing Company in Philadelphia. And a really effective piece of art showing Ebenezer Scrooge. Not a man you want to mess around with there. They also have information about Dickens and his facsimile of his original manuscript for A Christmas Carol. This is page 62 of it. So it's a pretty cool book. And then, of course, you have the story tells of Marley's Ghost. They have a lot of these little illustrations on the side here of the text on the pages, and then you have the full page color illustrations. So this is really quite a nice book. This is a classy piece of work and research. Really nice color illustrations. Scrooge at his workbench. More these black and white. They really make the book something special, I think. And of course, the color art is the full page color art is just beautiful. This is a beautiful book. Really nice. If you're a collector of Dickens or a collector of Christmas Carol or Scrooge, you're going to love this book and a lot of these books. It's just a great story. It's an uplifting story about people can change. They can change the course of their life. No matter, it's never too late. As long as life is there, you can change the course of your life. And Dickens was a writer who really believed that and wanted to let people understand that they could change, become better people, treat people better. And of course, Christmas is the time of year that we think of that, but it should be 365 days a year, and that was what Dickens believed, and it's what a lot of people believe, and it's important. It's important.
Would you say this is a science fiction story?
Science fiction, to an extent, fantasy, science fiction, horror, because it does have spirits, ghosts. He's time travel. They do go back into time, and he sees his earlier life. He is the last spirit showing him his grave, and he says at the grave, "Why are you showing me this? Because if you're showing me this and this is what's going to happen, then all that you've shown me is meaningless. But if you're showing me this and I can change my ways and I can become a better person, then then it has meaning." And that's what Dickens was trying to say. He was trying to say that even at this late stage, with that finger pointing down at him, and he's pointing down at his own grave, that he could become a better person and a better man. And he promises to do that, and he does it. And it's not so much the idea that he helps Tiny Tim and Bob Cratchit and all of that. It's the redeeming of a person to be a better person and to care about other people, and that's what's wonderful about A Christmas Carol. There's many great things about this book that are really special, really wonderful, and very touching. And it's a book that was famous from when it was first published to today. It's always been special. And in different kinds of different versions of it. Here's a Christmas. We saw the Mickey Mouse edition. This, Mickey Mouse. There's so many different ones. And this is a Christmas Carol pop-up book, which is kind of cool. And the pop-up, they have I don't know if I can do this. Okay, so you see the face in the door, and so all of these pages. It's kind of cool. Here's Scrooge in his house, and that's actually Marley's old house, and Marley's ghost is returning to him. His Fezziwig, the people are dancing, they're making rather merry. There's the ghost of Christmas present, and Scrooge is terrified, seeing such abundance and joy and happiness, because he's let his life become joyless, and it's a terrible thing. And here's the Cratchits, Bob Cratchit holding Tiny Tim in his arms, him and his wife drinking, and there's the ghost and Scrooge looking at them in the window. So this is like the time traveling aspect and the of the story. There's a lot of things in it that do have some science fiction elements or fantasy. Here's the grave scene again, and the name appears on the grave, Ebenezer Scrooge. Very cool, very interesting. Here's Scrooge the next day, happy, joyful. He's going to change his life. He wants to get the attention of this boy in the street to tell him that he wants to send the biggest turkey he can find to the family of Bob Cratchit. And here he is at his nephew's house and celebrating Christmas with a big smile on his face. Rand McNally books, 1986, hardcover, illustrated by Victor Ambrose, and the text has been adapted. Paper Engineering, Rick Dudley. All of these pop-up books are really engineered, to show certain things. They're really amazing. Some of them are just incredible. At some point, I'm going to do a video on the H.P. Lovecraft pop-up book, which it's going to freak you out. It's going to be really good. But this here, we're continuing on with this book. This is a nice, lovely book in a slipcase, 5 Christmas novels, and of course, Christmas Carol is number 1 on the list, and the others are also by Dickens. It's illustrated by Reginald Birch. So what you have in here in the book is the book, but you also have a monthly magazine. This is from the Junior Heritage Club, and they gave in with the book was this slim little pamphlet that gave a history of the books and of Dickens and A Christmas Carol, story of the author. Really nice story of the illustrator, Reginald Birch. He was born in 1856. Really beautiful little addition to this book, which we're going to get into. I just want to read a little bit. The story of the book: Isaac Newton invented gravity in 1666. Benjamin Franklin invented electricity in 1752. Robert Fulton invented ocean travel in 1807. And Charles Dickens invented Christmas in 1843. That was the first printing, of course, of Christmas Carol. This last sentence, and Charles Dickens invented Christmas in 1843, keep that in mind, that word invented, because that's going to be brought up in this next book, which I'll get to soon, The Man Who Invented Christmas. But I want to continue with this. How nice this this little booklet is. It's a slim little pamphlet of 11, 12 pages. The book itself now, 5 Christmas novels. Heritage Illustrated Bookshelf, the Heritage Press. Here's the Fezziwig's Christmas Bowl, illustrated again by Reginald Birch, who seems was a contemporary of Dickens. This edition was from 1939, Heritage Press, so it's got a bit of age to it itself. And these color plates. Again, not all of the, only Christmas Carol is the first story, so just want to show some of the illustrations because they really are nice. The Last of the Spirits, but the color illustrations are, yes, here we go, Bob Cratchit Comes Home. Really beautiful artwork. The Second of the Spirits. Beautiful books about a terrific story. Old Scrooge has a cheery visitor. Yes, that's his nephew. So there you have the Heritage edition of 5 Christmas novels by Dickens from 1939. Nice slipcase edition. Beautiful book. And that brings us to the last book, which is by Les Standiford and was made into a movie with Ian McKellen, and that's the man who invented Christmas. I love this book and movie. What it does is it just kind of explains Dickens. It explains the 1840s in London and England, what that world was like, and what it was like for a writer to exist and to try to have a career, to write stories, and where his stories came from, where his characters came from. Here's Ian McKellen playing Scrooge, and of course the actor who, I don't know who the actor is, who played a young Dickens. But the thing is, where do these people come from? And the interesting thing about this movie is that it kind of shows you where the things that were going on in Dickens's life and in England and society and the social order and the culture at the time, all of these things kind of melded together to make his characters come full to life. And in some case, in the movie and in the book, the characters kind of take over, and it's kind of really cool. And has some of the original. This has the original engraving from 1843 by John Leech, Fezziwig's Ball. And this book is from, I think it originally came out in 2008, and this edition is from 2017, which is trade paperback, that from Broadway Books, that ties in with the movie that came out in 2017. So here you have the story of Dickens, and in the also included in this volume is, of course, the original Christmas Carol. There's a reader's guide, original Christmas Carol. So that's here. But there's also a reader's guide. There is acknowledgments There's a selected bibliography. There's notes where the author, while he's telling a fictional story that he's, presenting, he's based it on facts and information that's known, and he puts that in at the end to kind of say that this is what was going on in Dickens's life at the time. And there's a lot of things going on in Dickens' life. He was an amazing, interesting, fascinating person. It's a very interesting book and movie. If you have not seen this, I think you would like it. You definitely would enjoy it. But just wanted to give you that look at A Christmas Carol as we're getting near the holidays and Christmas, and just hope you enjoyed this look. And once again, if you did, give us a thumbs up and a like. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. And Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. Thank you.